Hi everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is Thomas. I'm your host for today from Bildung Interaktiv. I promise this will be the last word on the if sentences. But I mentioned in the last video that there is still one thing I would absolutely have to tell you, and I'm going to tell you in this video. I promise I'll be quick. Also, you have to remember that this is really for the advanced learners. So this is not something you should regularly use in your English classes, let alone on your English tests, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that even some of your English teachers will not be feeling so comfortable with what I'm going to tell you now. So use it rarely, don't overuse it, okay? If at all, just remember that yes, it exists and it's right there. Good, okay, let's have a look at this. You will remember from the last videos that you have seen, this is a typical if sentence. I could do my homework if you turned down the music. Okay, which is, I can't do my homework because you're not turning down the music at the moment. We can put this into the past and say things like, well, I could have done my homework yesterday afternoon, for example, if you had turned down the music. Okay, that makes perfect sense, a beautiful if sentence. And of course, we can also project this into the future, so to speak, and say, if you turn down the music, I will be able to do my homework. So you have this is your three if sentences. So you have number one, which goes into the past, that would be conditional clause type 3. You have the second one, which is conditional clause type 2, and the third one, which goes into the future and which is your conditional sentence type 1. That's usually the one that you learn first. Okay, and remember, from the videos you've already seen, remember the basic rule. The basic rule I told you all the time. What is the one thing that you may not ever do? And this is never ever use a will future or a conditional in the part of the sentence with if. Okay, so in the part that has the if, which is the subordinate clause, never use a will future. Never use a condition like a would, for example, like a might or may. Never ever do that. And you're always on the safe side, so to speak. Okay, now this is for the advanced learners among you, and we are going to have to break the rule. Isn't it lovely when we can actually break one of those rules? Okay, because yes, if and will can go together, and of course in the same sentence. Okay, I've actually put down some examples for you. Okay, let's have a look at this. You can say, if you will please open the window, or if you will open the window, please. Oh, that is perfect. That's not only perfect English, that is perfectly polite, super English. Okay, if you will please open the window. Okay, that makes sense. And there's if and will in the same part of the sentence. What about this one? If you will excuse me for a moment. Okay, if you will excuse me for a moment. Perfect English, beautiful English. Okay, if you will excuse me for a moment. And if you will just shut up for a minute. Okay, that's the kind of thing you will make. I don't know, you never say to your teachers, if you will just shut up for a minute. Okay, this is good English. And in all those sentences, you have the if, and right after the if, you've got that subject, and then of course you have the will, which I told you again and again and again you should never do. Okay, and now I'm telling you, yes, you can do it. Okay, you can do it. If you will just shut up for a minute is a beautiful English sentence, and we use this to make a polite request. It's a polite way to make a request. If you want to be really polite, and you know that the English are very polite people, okay, then you can do this. And you would also notice this is not like a full conditional sentence, because it's not like the sentences we had before. If you will open the window, please. Okay, this is more like only like, okay, it's only like half a conditional sentence, but it's a if and it's the will and it's right here. Perfect. Okay, so we have the if and the will, which can go together. And now, of course, yes, if and would can also go together. Okay, so let's have a look at the sentences, and we have things like, you can say, if you would please close the window. Remember the sentence we had before, if you will please close the window. You can also say, if you would please close the window. That sounds even more, in this case, I would say formal. It's very formal. If you would please close the window. Yes, but it's correct English. You can use that. You can say that. Fetch my umbrella if you would please, or if you will please, sounds again very formal. Fetch my umbrella if you would please. And a third one, I would be grateful if you would send me an answer. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a perfectly all right and correct English sentence. I would be grateful if you would send me an answer. Oh, and now this, you understand why I told you don't overuse this, okay? If you use this stuff in your tests, your English teachers will actually give you, like mark this as a mistake. And she or he would also be right, because you've been taught otherwise. But yes, it does make sense. It does not only make sense, it's a beautiful English sentence. I would be grateful if you would send me an answer. That is a perfect English sentence. And again, as we had with that will and the if that could go together, it's a polite way. It's a very polite way to make a request and to ask for something. And it's also very, very formal. I would advise you to not use this too much. Maybe use the will if you want to, but you should keep it in the back of your minds that yes, it exists, and whenever it comes up, you understand it. And you can also use it maybe in certain situations. I would be grateful if you would send me an answer. That's just totally crazy. Okay? Okay. Guys, that's it. Okay, I promised I'd make it short. I did make it short. And this is the last word on the if sentences. Everybody stay fit and live free. See you next time. Bye bye.